Paulette, but I don't see Paulette. If so, if you're here, big sis, how you doing? Today is a member request from Michelle. She requested I do a look with Notoriously Morbid Rusted Essence Volume 3. This is what that looks like on the outside. This is the back side, and it shows you where shadows has a flip. This one here looks like, this one looks like, and this one in the center looks like. Hey Michelle, I was just showing the palette of your request. I did tag you also, as I usually do when someone makes a request. I tag them in the description box. And this is what the inside looks like. That center shade. Oh man. They did bring back volume 1 for Rusted Essence. And so it said also that this one has a shift. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. And it's showing this one has a subtle shift. But we do see the different colors in there. So it does look lighter here, like a more pink, actually kind of greenish pink. And then it's that purple. And I know y'all are probably still looking at that one because that one is just gorgeous. So this is this palette. This is what we're using today. I'm looking at this, trying to remember if I repressed this shadow because I see a line in here along this edge. And you see how it's sitting in the pan? But I don't think I repressed that one, but it's looking... I'm gonna press that with a sponge tip applicator. And pressing it does remove the line. And maybe I kind of slammed it unintentionally when I put it away because I store my palettes this way, so sometimes maybe knocking it against what it's sitting in. So I'm pressing around where I see the line at with this, and it did go away, so we're all good. But this is what we're using today. Do check out Michelle's channel. Again, she is tagged in the description box, and clicking on that will take you to her channel. So first thing first, I did do my brows early today. Hi Alexandria. I forget that quick if I spoke to you. I do have a code for Notoriously Morbid. You will get 15% off. It will take a while to get your stuff, y'all. Yeah, I'm still waiting on my lipstick order that I made on June 26th. Excuse me, I did receive an email that it was pulled for fulfillment, but it hasn't been fulfilled yet. Hi, Mark. Excuse me, and I'm waiting for other stuff. So just know you're going to wait a while. It is worth it when you get it, though. I can say that for sure. Y'all may have thought that I forgot, but I didn't. I have my notes. Oh, thank you. I try to cut it every 3 weeks. Sometimes it's a little longer. And it's ironic because I never feel like cutting it, and it takes me less than 10 minutes to cut it. So it's just weird. I'm weird. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely low maintenance person, as you can tell. I have my list here of follow-ups on how many palettes we have. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that, too. So, for right now, though, I'm going to start my base face. And, excuse me, I'm going to do the intro. Yeah, I cut it myself. Yeah. And because I don't do any fades or anything, it's just that one guard on the clippers. I can't mess up. I just, because it's all the same height. And so, you know what? Thank you, Mark. You made me realize I ain't brushed my hair today. So let's do some ASMR. Hear me brushing my hair. I think it was maybe 4 days ago I cut it. 4 or 5 days ago. For like the first week, sometimes I do forget to cut it because, as you see, I'm brushing it, but nothing ain't happening. Like, it's not. But, yeah, thank you for reminding me. I didn't brush my hair today. Yeah, it gets thick. It gets thick. It gets thick. So we're going to do the intro. I'm going to start my base face. Hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that? The crazy. Knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique, because that's what they're telling you in whatever video you're watching. I'm here to tell you, if you want to try all the things, try all the things, but because you're just curious, you want to see if it works, not because you feel obligated, because that's what some random person on YouTube is telling you you have to do. Here we are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. This is the main thing, y'all. Listen up. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So all of that I just said is what the Crazy Troll Nation stands for. So here at Troll is a good thing. It means we love ourselves, we wear what we want, and we rock it. So y'all like, why'd you say all of that then? To explain, because people do be like, what does that mean? And if I just say love yourself, wear what you want, they be like, but why a troll though? So then, you know, I just say the whole thing. 2 things about me. One of them you already heard. There's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I try to be aware of it to say, excuse me. And the other thing is I curse sometimes, because I do curse sometimes. So that is the completion of the intro. Let me back up and look at some of these comments. Oh, you said your hair is thick. Oh, okay. Hey, Grace. Classic Sonic Adventures. Of course you should sub. Of course. Michelle's here. You're in Nevada. Okay. Yes, if you like inclusive makeup content. I have another question for Janessa, but I'll text you about that. Y'all, look at this. And this is probably, I think, like down to here. I was reading all the articles. Michelle read all of your articles for your website. Yo, Janessa is amazing. She really is. She has a flair that I would never have, even in my wildest dreams. Yeah, and she's been doing what she's been doing for like at least 20 years. So she like Tupac and postal stamps. She get around. She's been doing some great things. And she's my, I think it's official now. She's my, and on Google. She's my official go-to person whenever I have questions about websites, advertising, pricing. If I draft a document, I'm like, how does this sound? So it used to be unofficial, but I think now Janessa is official. That she's my go-to person, because she's been doing shows and photo shoots and all of this for so long. And so she's really an asset. Janessa, you are really an asset to me, and I appreciate you greatly, as you know. But and it is just so cool, like when you're doing something and you just so happen to be cool with somebody else that does the same thing but been doing it longer, and that's willing to share information with you. Because some people, when they learn something or do something, they're like, oh, I'm not going to tell anybody my trade secrets. Excuse me, why are we all just, there's room for all of us here. There's room for everybody. I remember when I had started that program, and they tell you little things that you can do, right? Like little tips, tricks, or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. And I for the members, like I would tell y'all stuff that I learned. And even now when I learn something new, excuse me, or when I'm doing a troll play look and I'm looking at it, I'm analyzing it, and I'll say, well, I don't like this because of this. Next time I'll do this. Like I share with y'all like what stuff is and what it isn't, even if it's just based on my preference and how I feel about it. But anyway, this person that has started the class, she did a video about something, and she's like, and here's a tip, and then she's like, I don't know if I want to be telling y'all all my trade secrets. I'm like, girl, you've been in the class for 2 weeks. And I'm just like, it's not anything that deep. Like when I was watching the Mac When I was talking about the MAC masterclass I went to, and the one makeup artist, because the person that was just, I guess, hosting or whatever, like it was one here and one here, two different makeup artists, and she was just in the middle. And so she would ask a question, just for conversation. And so for each of them, she asked, like, what is one of your main tips that you would give somebody? And I did share this already. And one of them said, one of my tips is, he said, have a paint pot in the complexion of the model. And he said, put a little bit on their nose or on their chin. He said, for people who say makeup never stays on my nose, it always disappears on my chin, he said, put paint pot on it, blend it out real good, and then go in with your, your skin tint or your foundation or whatever. And he said, and it will stay all day. And I was just like, wow, like I would have never thought of that. And when I shared that in the video, y'all were like, wow, that's a good tip. And so, like, what's the harm in sharing things that can help somebody else? But that's what it's about, helping somebody else, not learning something new and thinking you're the only one that know and you don't want to say anything. Like, let's help each other out here. And so I really do. Hey, Tanya. And so I really do appreciate the assistance and the guidance. I do. I did declutter the Estee Lauder, because I actually did finish that one up. I used to mix that with this one. I will move this mirror after I finish with complexion products. Hey, Anna Boo. I just love saying your name for whatever reason. So once I move the complexion product stuff that's here in front of me, I'll move that and then move the mirror closer to here so that you won't see the shadow, but you will see an orb up here somewhere. And it is the mirror. It's no spirits in here. At least not unfriendly ones. We don't play that over here. When you're not friendly, you got to get the hell up on out of here. So I'm excited to use this palette. And what I'm also... There's always exclusions, Michelle. Yeah, when they say site-wide, it's usually in small print where it'll say exclusions apply. Or sometimes they'll say newness not applied. Like if they just came out with a recent palette or a blush or whatever, they'll say site-wide. Yo, I just had a brain fart. When I paused, I was like, did I put on primer foundation already? That's really what I was thinking when I stopped. And I'm just like, yeah, because I put the concealer on top of it. Yo, it's kind of scary. Yeah, there's always exclusions. Always. I have out my mascara already, so I don't forget for later. The Lancome Cils Booster Mascara Base. It's called Cils Booster XL Mascara Base, it used to say, but now I think it says Mascara Primer. The Beyond Mascara from City Beauty that they had sent me initially, I loved it so much that I bought it. And we're going to use the Tower 28. Well, I always say that weird. Tower 28 that Grace has sent me. This is brown. We're going to use that for lower lash lines. And so sometimes I do forget to put on mascara. So I'm going to use these. The only things I haven't used from what I purchased from my beloved Hung Bango's beauty line is 3 of the palettes. I'm thinking if I'm going to use his bronzers and powders today, his bronzers and blushes today. I need to set my face. I am all out of order. I don't know what is wrong with me today. My alarm, I kept resetting my alarm when I finally got up, because I wake up every 90 minutes. And some people would never know, because when I wake up, I check my messages, and so I'll be texting people back, and then I'll go back to sleep. When I do lives, I have 3 alarms set for 6:30, for 7:45, and for 7:58. I woke up, one of the times I woke up was about 6:15, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set it for 6:45. And then I think I reset it for like 6:50. Like I was just not wanting to get up. And so I finally got up at like 7 o'clock. I did have breakfast already, oatmeal with Vietnamese cinnamon as usual, and Bolt House Farms green goodness. So I had that, and I actually guzzled the 8 ounces of green goodness right before this live because my 7:58, excuse me, alarm went off. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta be here in 2 minutes. And so that was that. So I did apologize last night, but just as a reminder, we're here Thursday night on my channel with Janessa, and because I was so excited and I neglected to actually look at my calendar, we will not be here Wednesday night because I'm working as manager at Baltimore Playhouse tomorrow night. So she was so kind as to switch it to Friday on her channel, because I kept telling her I can move mine and we can do hers on Thursday, because I just felt really bad. I did feel really bad, and I still kind of do, because I don't like to say, I'm going to do something and then don't do it. So we'll be here Thursday with Janessa and the love of my life, and we'll be on her channel Friday, and we're going to be doing looks with more of his stuff that we purchased. And so I haven't used the other 3 palettes because I'm keeping those to use on her channel. I have Composed Cools to use, Brilliant Blue, and Generous Green and Yellow, and I am excited. But I have used everything else from him though. Yes, Thursday night here on Dion's channel, Fridays on hers. All Hung Vango goodness. Oh, he is some goodness. Oh my God, I love that man. And I'm glad that I do really like everything that he came out with, because I remember saying, I hope it's as good as I think it is. Haywood, how you doing? Hey, Haywood, how you doing? You done snuck in here. It's good to see you. We're going to put the blue on our inner rims. This one is a personal preference. Hey, Clayton. So $200, that's what you're saying you're going to do a super chat for, to send me $200? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? You're going to super chat me $200? I tell you what, Janessa, if he super chats me $200, YouTube does take 30%. I'll send you a cut. So Clayton, if you super chat me $200, I'll send Janessa a cut. You talk about money, you got to give it up, sir. Ma'am, non-binary? Non-gendered? I keep dry skin, and I have been putting on like my moisturizers and stuff, and I don't even notice stuff. I sit here and then I'm like, dry skin. Oh, Clayton ain't say nothing. Oh man, such a tease. Does he want to go on my inner rims? Y'all look at, ooh, these show up. These show up. Oh man. Let me just check, make sure I'm not missing one of his comments. Nope, he didn't comment. Dior just dropped this delicious purple highlighter quad. Don't get it. I just did a short video, like seriously, it was like 13 minutes, on what is affordable makeup. And those of you who have been here since I started my journey to become a conscientious consumer, like you already can imagine like what I talked about. And I did always struggle with hearing someone say, this is affordable makeup, or this is more affordable. Like, what does that mean? If you can afford it, it's affordable. If you can afford it without going into debt, it's affordable to you. And there are some people that wear only drugstore. There are some people that wear only high-end and luxury. So what does that mean, affordable? If you want to say a less expensive product, okay, that I understand. But as far as affordability, that's subjective in my mind. And y'all know my mind is a scary place. Oh, Michelle, you've been so tempted by their highlighter quad. I know that luxury makeup is just not my jam, but they're super cute. Yeah. Sometimes when I do inner rims, my eyes tear, and that's what's happening right now. This one is like tearing a lot. This one just a little bit. I'm gonna turn this fan off for a little while. See if that'll help. Yeah, I don't have anything from Dior. True story. And I'm still like dumbfounded by it. But this is how some people think. Like, y'all think my mind is a scary place. I be thinking other people's mind is just not working. Someone has said price per use affordable. For me, it's about whether you're going into debt over it or not. But I hear what you're saying. Because just because something's cheap, if you're going into debt over it, to me that says you can't afford it. Just in general, I'm not saying that to you. So I'm just speaking in general. A person I knew years ago, she was talking about a certain YouTuber that she always watches, right? And this was years ago, maybe like 5 years ago. And she was like, oh, I bought this because so-and-so, you know, highly recommended it. And we're like the same complexion and blah, blah, blah. She bought like 6 things during a sale that this person had recommended. She tried all the items. She only liked 2 of them. And even after that, she would say, oh, so-and-so likes this, and so-and-so likes that, and so-and-so likes this. And I said to her, I said, why do you still say stuff based on this person's recommendation when you purchased 6 things that they recommended and you only liked 4 of them? So why are you still all like, oh, this person says, when you didn't even like the products? And they looked at me like I had a third eye in the middle of my forehead. I was just like, I'm like, that didn't make sense to me. That did not make sense to me. So you're still like, oh, this person says this and this person says that, but you don't like the products that they recommended that you paid for because they recommended it. I would stop listening to that person. And they were still just, oh, this person. Hi, Keith. Thank you, Janessa. How are you doing tonight, Keith? But now her taste in makeup is changing. Her who makeup is changing? Taste in makeup is changing. I can say, I don't know if mine is changing, but I do. Something happened and it's bothering me. Like when I really sat to think about it. You're doing good? Awesome. Thank you for being here. And I realized that as much as I like dark, smoky, grungy, you know, all of that, I knew I was going to drop something. And I know I do like to have variety on my channel, so I don't just do makeup, Megan's makeup musing. She's always been a more natural type makeup person. If it's the Megan I'm thinking about, she used to be Megan Classic Beauty or something like that on Instagram. We've done collabs before. Oh my gosh, one time for Vlogmas. I don't know if it was me or her. We had an idea. I'm thinking it was her. She had an idea for us to do a video like 12 days straight for Vlogmas. And I remember saying, like, once we got started, I'm like, this is insane. And we had like certain things, like a certain palette we were going to use, certain colors, or, you know, whatever it was. Every day was something different. But I was just like, we are insane. Like, this is just fucking nuts. And so that's the one I'm thinking about. Yeah, she's real cool. What is that brand? She's friends with one of the owners to like some high-end skincare brand or something, and I forget who it is, if it's the same person that you're thinking about. Let me do my face and then we're going to get into this eyeshadow. We are going to use Hung Van Gogh stuff. I do want to get 3 more of his blushes. I do, like for real, I do. Label whore me here. I know it looks tacky. I don't care. Because when I do the flat lays, the palettes are going to be open. Why? Are you proposing? Are you married? Because some of y'all dudes, if you are a dude, some of y'all... I had a guy tell me he thinks that all men should have at least 2 women, but he was against me being polyamorous. And I'm like, well, what you're doing is ethical non-monogamy if you're always keeping 2 people. And he said what to me was dumb. He said, men ain't going to go for that because they don't trust other men. And I'm like, why would you need to, like, say I had two partners, why would you need to trust a man that you don't know and will likely never meet versus trusting me when I tell you that I value you and I value our relationship? Of course, he didn't have an answer. But anyway, and for me, it's not about sex, which is what, people think it is. Because he was like, oh, you should have did that when you was younger. I said, I've always been polyamorous. Always. Like, that's not just something I decided to do, when I reached a certain age. One man is usually too much to trouble. I hear you. So we're going to put on hardworking first. That's this one. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Oh, you're not married? All right, here's another question for you. Is there somebody out there that thinks that you're married to them? And that's not a trick question. I'm saying that because both my moms, actually my dad's parents too, both of them are no longer here. Y'all, man, I do want 3 more of his blushes. They will add to my stash because his style is very different than House Labs, Lady Gaga stuff. Her stuff is a little more punchy, a little more colorful. My grandfather used to say, my mom's dad used to say to his wife, to my mom's mom, I didn't marry you, you married me. And when I thought about it, first I used to think it was ignorant for him to say that. But also, technically, if you want to stick to being literal, he was right. Because back then it was like, now I introduced to you man and wife. And now it's husband and wife. So yeah, I'm introducing you to man and his wife. So he was still a man. She wasn't a woman. She was his wife, but he wasn't her husband. And so when I thought about it, I said, technically, yeah, okay. But yeah. So is there someone who thinks that you're married to them? This one is resilience. Sounds like you found one of the good ones, Michelle. Oh man, y'all, Sean is funny. Sean is funny. Remember that in that live stream when I said she'd be looking at him like, and she'll kind of lean in a little bit and he'll just go and keep talking whatever he was saying. One of her videos, she was like, Sean, remember when Dion was like that, and you just, and he started laughing, and this is exactly what he said. He laughed and said, yeah, that's definitely how it is. I was cracking up like, oh my God. He was like, yeah, that's definitely how it is. I was like, wow. I was cracking up. So we take the lighter bronzer all the way in, and the darker one we just kind of keep back here. And I'm tapping, y'all, I tapped very lightly. His products, y'all, oh man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Not that I say I am, but other people say I am. They say I'm good at reading people. And I'm looking at y'all. So I'm just, my therapist says quite often, like I'll say something and he'll say, that's a very astute observation. That's exactly how he says it quite often to me. That's a very astute observation. So I am one of those people. You really do. And that's a good thing. I mean, that's better than, you see, when you see a married couple and they just be like looking at each other like, aren't you going to go visit family today? Like, in other words, get the hell out of my face. So that is really good. We're going to take this one first. This one is possibilities, and then we're going to put on this one, which is legacy. 2 of his other ones I want to get. One is kind of reddish looks like, and one is like a pinkish. That would be a nice gradient. And there was another one I wanted to get that I think will go nice with this one. Just trying to keep it in the color family because these are very different, but trust me, it's going to look nice. So we're going to put on, what do you say we're going to use first? We're going to put on the darker one first. This is Legacy. A single mother has me in a joke. Stop it. Michelle, you need to stop that before Kay comes in here. Because Kay be on it. Kay be on it. So we're just going to look. Tap, 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 tap. That's it. Look at that. Ooh. my gosh. Tap, tap, tap. And we're just lightly tapping. Yo, Kate be cracking me up, y'all. Kate is all about love. When Sean was like, when you said he hates you. Oh, when he was in the chat and he was like, she hates me. Kate was like, there's no hate here. I'm like, true. I said, they're married. He's messing with her. She was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Kate will set you straight. I was like, oh. And that's why I didn't say anything, because I know y'all were just joking. Okay, we'll be here. And so this one is possibilities. We're going to use, yeah, we're going to use the same brush. Tap, tap, tap. Y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Tap, tap. I'm going to wait for his for his other ones. He has a pro discount on his page, but I don't fit any of the criteria. I fit like one of the criteria, but there's two. And so I will not be in his pro program. Y'all, love of my life here. This is beautiful. We're going to take Fire Opal from House Labs, and we had used this before with that, so maybe I should use something different. We're going to take Raw Amber, because Fire Opal really plays nice off of this. This is described as yellow orange. That would be bomb, but we did that before. Let's do something different. And actually before, we put one bronzer, one blush here, one bronzer, one blush here, and we used Fire Opal for both of them. So we're going to take Raw Amber. This is not really color on me. It's just like a little bit of shine. Yeah. Hi, Nora. How are you today? Y'all, let's do this, because I'm always just curious. Some of you I know where you are, and some of you I don't. Like, if you don't mind, if none of you mind, can you put in the chat, like, where you are in the world? If you're in the United States, East Coast, Midwest, West Coast. If you're in another country, you know, putting the country. Because I'm always just curious, and I know. So y'all see how this looks. Hi, Eden. How are you? So it's not a lot of color for me. It just gives like a nice shine. And here's a little tip. If your blush line ever looks like too deep, you're in New Zealand. Oh my gosh, I be telling them Troll Nation is worldwide. If your blush line is ever looking harsh, by the time you put your highlighter on it, like that, it helps blend. But that's not why I use it. I just use it because it's nice. Hey, Sharon. Oh, you're in Houston. Oh, it's hot down there. Grand Forks, North Dakota. I've been in Houston once. It was so humid, and it was in the summertime. I was like, I cannot do this. Get me out of here. We're going to take Luminous Light from Hourglass. You found your channel? Oh! Well, thank you for being here. Yeah, my body, I'm heat sensitive. Like, my body does not like the heat. Like, seriously, when I was in Arizona visiting my dad, I passed out. It was too hot. My body was like, we're going to shut down right now. And when I lived in Texas, I had heat exhaustion a lot. My body just will not take it. And I grew up in Camden, New Jersey, here on the East Coast. But, and so we did have, you know, I was raised when there were 4 seasons in a year. Now it's like 3 seasons in a year. And so there were all the seasons. But my body just does not like the heat. It does not. And it will shut down. It will shut the hell down. So when I was getting out of the military and finishing school in Texas, I'm like, I'm moving to somewhere where there's at least 3 seasons in a year. And so I ended up back up here on the East Coast. I miss somebody. Hey, Pam, East Coast, New York. What's up? Last time I was in New York was to go to the Lion King play. And I had seen it previously, but I was taking somebody to see it. And I told them, before we get into New York, I said, let me drive. My undergrad was from New York, and so I already knew. First of all, in the city, cabs run the city. They will run your ass off the road because that's their money. And either you drive crazy like everybody else, or they will run you off the road, or you'll end up in an accident. And so I had told them, before we get into New York, let me drive. They thought I was joking. I'm zipping and zagging, and then they were like, you weren't joking. I said, no, I wasn't. You got to drive how they drive. You're going to be on the side of the road. Detroit, Michigan, Midwest, baby, says Tanya. Saudi Arabia, Nora. Well, welcome. I just love how we're from like all over the world. Signs of the times. I remember when I was growing up as a child in Austin, Texas. We had snow every year, at least 4 feet tall. Haven't seen snow in over 60 years. Damn. Yeah, people talk about climate change ain't real. I'm like, huh. You must not be on planet Earth. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, them cab. Yo, they run New York City. That's their money. If you're in front of them and the light turn yellow and you slow down, they will go around you and go through the light. I lie to you not, y'all. They be like, nah. You better run that light. Because you'll stop. That cab be like, shh. And you be like, what the hell happened? That cab be gone. They be gone. Oh my gosh. Whew. Man. Barely have any cabs in Detroit. Most people Uber or Lyft around here. And that's expensive. And in Manhattan, not so much like on Long Island and other places, but in Manhattan, a lot of people, they just take the train because this is quicker, it is easier, and it's not too expensive. I remember when I was growing up, we had family in Brooklyn, and so my mom would take us to visit. And I was young, maybe like 8 or 9. And I remember when we were driving to Brooklyn, I was just staring out the windows like, these are some tall ass buildings. I was just like, what? Because growing up in Camden, New Jersey, we don't have like, those tall buildings like that. And I remember just looking out the window like, and we were in her apartment. She was on like the 18th floor or something. I'm looking out the window, and they had like the guardrails and the bars over the windows, I guess in case somebody wanted to not be alive anymore. But I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is fucking nuts. But I remember asking somebody, like, how do I get to such and such place? And they would say, I don't know. And they were like, well, take such and such train. I'm like, no, like driving, how do you get there? People can't tell you how to get somewhere driving, most people, because they just take public transportation all the time. And so I thought that was strange, but then I'm like, but you don't need a car if you live in Manhattan. But I was just like, I'm driving, but not, well, my mom was driving. But you have 30 people in the chat and only 12 thumbs up. Let's give our sister some love and give her some thumbs up. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, dude must have been teasing me. Somebody, I don't know if he's still here. He's like, this girl crazy. This dude, I'm guessing it was a dude. I don't know. He put $200. I'm like, are you super chatting me $200? Don't come on here talking about money and you ain't giving me none. He didn't respond. I don't know if they're still here. You used to live in Brooklyn, Crown Heights, and Clinton Hills. Yeah, my undergrad was on Long Island at Long Island University, and then I went back to Jersey, and then I moved to Central Islip, and then I moved back to Jersey. Very interesting. My favorite part of, to hang out, my favorite part was Brooklyn. To hang out. Where I felt the most relaxed and safe was like the Queens Hempstead area. But then this is going back to like 93, 94, 95. But I thought about moving to the Queen Hempstead area, and then I just ended up moving back to Jersey. I've been to the Bronx one time. I said never again. I'm sure times have changed, but it looked like Crack City. I'm like, get me the hell out of here. Like, where the fuck are we at? Yo, I was just like, are we safe? And I'm coming from Camden, New Jersey, so we ain't all the way safe either. But I was just like, I was kind of shook. Like, what's going on? Crying my eye. Oh, hey, George. I'm doing okay today. How are you today? I'm hungry, though. I just had my breakfast not too long ago, but I'm hungry. And I think it's because I slept so late today. Y'all, I made sauce last night. Because remember I showed y'all my kitchen stuff? And I said that one container of sauce was in my cabinet because the Best By date was November. Well, I made that last night. I had to throw away. Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. You're welcome. I threw away the sauce that had the venison in it and the chili that had the venison in it because I realized that after I would eat it, like 2 hours later, and they say it takes at least 2 hours for your food to start to digest because it goes through whatever it goes through. And I was having like severe stomach pains, and I didn't catch on until like the third time I ate one of those. The first time I ate it, nothing had happened. What I think it was their meat has very little fat. And when I cooked it, I did cook it. and heating it up, that just cooks it more. So I think it was just like too hard for my system to digest. And so I threw all that away. All them containers I showed y'all, I threw them all away. So I went ahead and made sauce last night with ground chicken in it, y'all. I put so much seasonings in it. I'm going to, it's still a mess. Only a small part of the Bronx is nice. I was there at one time. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. I was just like, ah. And I felt bad in a way because for people who grow up there, like that's their normal. But even growing up where I did in the inner city in New Jersey, in Camden, New Jersey, I was still just like, this shit is crazy. I was just like, But so it's what you're used to. That's what it boils down to. I wasn't used to that. But I used to love hanging out in the Bronx. Where I fell in love with, or when I fell in love with Jamaican food, Caribbean food, the RA on campus in the building I lived in, we were cool, and she was going out one day, and she was like, I'm going to Nakasaki's. You know, do you want anything? I was like, what's Nakasaki's? She said, oh, it's Caribbean food, it's Jamaican food. I'm like, I don't know, I never had it. She said, I'm going to bring you back a combo platter. Y'all, it was curry goat, jerk chicken, and, hey, Michelle, curry goat, jerk chicken, and oxtails. Y'all, I fell in love hard. The next week, I'm like, you going to Nakasaki's again? Can you bring me back something? Yo, oh my gosh, that's why I fell in love with Jamaican food. And when my mom came up to visit me, I took her to Nakasaki's. And she was like, oh, this is good. I'm like, I know. Oh my gosh. It is so hard here in Delaware to find a good Caribbean place because it ain't the same. It ain't the same. But that's why I fell in love with Caribbean food. And that was in the Queens Hempstead area. All right, we're going to get into this palette. Hey, Eden. Were you here before? Did I talk to you? If I didn't, I apologize. I do try to be sure that I am looking in the chat. You live on the Upper West Side, and my rent has doubled. I'm thinking about moving to New Jersey, even though I love New York. Jersey is high too, but not as high as New York. I can't say that. And I love being here in Delaware. Delaware has the lower cost of living, but even so, my rent goes up. It used to go up every other year, $15. Now every year it goes up like a lot more. And so I'm paying now $1,420 a month for a 770 square foot apartment. And I'm like, this is insane. But where I am is one of the best neighborhoods. And so I'm like, I will stay here for safety reasons. You're back in. Okay, I'm glad, Eden, because I do try to make sure I say hello. Because people come to visit me. I don't want to be rude and I'd be like, hi. Oh, okay, New Zealand. Okay. I've heard some very good things about New Zealand. And one of the conferences I went to, one of the workshops I went to, the presenter was from New Zealand, and she was just so warm and so friendly. And I'm just like, I should go visit there because, like, she was just so pleasant. Which Bella Butte bar palette, Michelle? Okay, y'all talking about stuff. So this looks like it has a shift because the outside looks darker than the inside. So we're going to take this. I put labels on here because I'm a label hoe, among other hoes. This is Silent Shouts. We're going to put this on. Now watch how bold this is, even though it kind of looks like, okay, whatever. Press it. Look at that. So I made the sauce ground chicken. Y'all, I dumped so many Pinsy seasonings in it. It was ridiculous. I'm going to post on my community tab if I don't forget. All the seasons I put in there. And I cooked it at like 3 a.m. I'm nocturnal for those who don't know. So I was working on my website on my laptop. And so the sauce was, because after I browned the meat. You have nieces that live in Middletown, Delaware, and Dover. To me, Delaware is peaceful and beautiful. It depends on where you are. Like some parts in Wilmington is like you're in the hood. And so I don't go there often. Because I'm like, I grew up in the hood. I'm not trying to go back there. I don't care what state it is. But yeah, Dover is pretty chill. I'm in the Newark area. I'm like 7 minutes from Christiana Mall. And I like where I am because we're kind of tucked away a little bit where it's not city at all, but it's also not country. And there's a lot of stores and shops and, main roads near here. And so I never feel isolated and everything is just so close. And so I really do like it here. And I've been here in this place, in this development since June 2012. Meanwhile, in Seattle, says Michelle. Middletown is really nice. It's not as far down. Delaware, you've been there. Everything is so spread out as far as stores and shops. Middletown is a little more lively. I'm looking at this. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking to take this one and then this one. Michelle says yes. Okay. This is Michelle's look, y'all. She requested I do a look with this palette. Is this not picking up? Okay, wait. This is the one that had that line in it. When is the PAO? The PAO is September 15 this year. This is, okay. I don't think this is one that I pressed, but even when I have the shadows I have pressed from them, like they still work fine. Like this is, I wonder if it's about the dye, because this is not the formula. I remember this first shade was fine, but this one is not wanting to, we're overlapping a little bit to blend it. It's not really wanting to do too much. That Wednesday here, New Zealand is in the future. So you're in, what is it here? Tuesday. So you're Wednesday. Yours Wednesday where you are. That just always amazes me how we can be in the same place at the same time, but yet we're in different places at different times. That's kind of trippy to me. Dion, the look is already taking your breath away. And this is only 2 shades. Yeah, this one is not working too well. And it's not hard pan, but it's not, it's looking like it's not even, look at that, like it's, meanwhile it's 8:46 p.m. Tuesday and bedtime is approaching. So I made this sauce, y'all. It is so good. So I finished working on the website 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I still have your stitch cheetah look to do. And we did schedule that. Y'all, I have so many lives. I think I still have 15 more that are scheduled, because when I click on it to come here, it shows me the number. And then you pick which one you want to do, and then so it's always the one at the top. But yeah. How old are you, Keith? How about that? Where did you say you were, Keith? What state are you in? I feel like you said it earlier. Or maybe not. Oh, I asked you, does somebody think you're married to them? And you didn't answer. So yeah, this shade is not wanting to, like, I'm having to work to get it to show up. So I'm trying not to be annoyed, because I know the next shade, I'm hoping the next shade will work really well. So I finished this sauce around, you live in Virginia. Have you ever heard of Baltimore Playhouse in Baltimore? And we're going to take this shade. This shade that didn't want to come to the party is Fright Squared. I'm not afraid, because this is just not. The one in the center of the palette is Endless Winter. Y'all, that shade is so pretty. That center shade. Oh my gosh. And so I browned the meat. Y'all, this palette is different. The formula is different. Because this is acting like that center shade. This might be it for this palette, y'all. I do not remember it being like this. You are single. Is there any person that thinks that they're your partner? Because sometimes people are like, oh, I'm single, but then they got like people that would say that they're in a relationship with you. This might be it for this palette, y'all. And I only got it a year ago. And I do use stuff until the formula changes, and or until it irritates my lids. But this is not pleasant, because I'm used to how that first shade just went on. That's what I'm used to. So having to do Laughing at you. I'm in a good mood today, so that's why I'm playing along. Yeah, this isn't you asked that question. Yeah, I'll be asking them questions. Because being single doesn't mean that you're not still seeing people. And so those are two different questions for me as a straightforward person. Say what I mean what I say. Okay, okay, this is the question though. You're saying you don't have a girlfriend. Is there a girl that thinks you're her boyfriend? Like how my grandfather was like, she married me, I ain't marry her. Meaning that he wasn't married, but she was to him. Yeah, I'm one of these wacky women, Keith. I ask questions because this inquiring mind wants to know. So I browned the meat, and that's a good question. Michelle's asking if you have a boyfriend. That's a valid question. Because being in the communities I'm in, yeah, that's a good question, Michelle. That is a valid question. Because I know people who are queer, who are homosexual, people who are non-binary, people that's pansexual. That is a very valid question. And so I brown the meat, and then, and while it's browning, I dump a bunch of seasonings in it. And as I keep browning it, I keep just dumping in more and more seasonings. I don't measure anything. And I had told my neighbor before, when I do make salsa or chili that is really good, and I'm like, this is the best I've made yet, I know it's never going to taste the same because I don't measure seasonings. I just dump stuff in it. But every time I make it, though, it be really good. We're going to take this green. And I know y'all thinking, girl, that's like a blue purple. It ain't going to look right. It don't matter. We're going to make it work. We're going to take this green. Excuse me. I am disappointed at these two shades. And the way these two are looking is how this one is looking. The matte still look good. So let's see. We're going to take this green. Yeah, that's fine. Like, y'all. So that was not a problem. And so it finished. And then I put the sauce in it. Dump some more seasonings in it. And let it simmer for a while. Like an hour. No, probably like a half hour. And then I turn the heat off and still let it sit because it's still going to cook and simmer because the burner's hot. And so it was like maybe 7:30. I put in a little over 2 hours. Hey, George, you're from, I don't know. You had to Google it. I'm in Delaware. You can Google how far. I don't know. And so it was like around 6 something. And I text my neighbor. And by this time, I had put them all in those little containers, put the labels on them and all of that. And they were sitting on my countertop because I was waiting for it to cool some more before I put it in the freezer. So I text her. I'm like, I'm still up. I just finished cooking this like 2 hours ago. If you want some, let me know. And so it might have been around 7 when she texted me. Yeah, I'm still up. I'll take 2. I said, I'm still up. Come on up. So she came up. And I said, well, here's a spoon if you want to open one and taste it. Y'all. She tasted it and she was like, oh, that tastes good. And then she turned around and then she came back and was like, because it kicks you in the back of your throat. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I said at first, it's like, okay, that's really good. Give it like 15 seconds. And you feel that burn back here? Ooh. But when you first eat it, it's like, it is so good. And then that kick comes in. She was like, yeah. So I told her to take as many as she wants because I got 3 more jars of those sauces underneath my cabinet. And I have enough ground meat in the freezer. And she was like, well, I'll just take 2. So she picked up 2. And she was like, she said, you must have knew I ain't feel like cooking today. I'm like, I ain't know. I said, I was just, making the sauce. And she said she was. So she's like, I might have one of these for breakfast. I said, well, take 3. No. She's like, I might have one for breakfast. And then she was like, I might want to take 3. I said, so take 3. So I put another one on top of the 2 that she had in her hand. And then she said, I might eat one for breakfast. I said, well, then take 4, because then you'll have a couple to put in your freezer. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. I said, I got more sauce. I got more meat. So the 2 that I was left with, I did put those in the freezer. And it was a little bit left in the pan. And so I did make a little bit of pasta and ate that. But y'all, I texted her later. I said, if when you eat it, Don't lick your lips a lot because after a while your lips will go partially numb. She was like, thanks for the heads up. Yo, that sauce is so freaking good. Oh my gosh. And it'll never taste the same twice, but it's always really good. And that's when I posted, do y'all like spicy food? Yeah, I did post it on, yeah, I did. I did post on my community tab the seasonings I used, and only one of them is not Penzies, and it's shot for blends. And if you read the ingredients in it, it has like 3 different peppers in it, y'all. That shit is hot. You only need a little bit of that. But so this is the shape. The shapes are looking the same, almost. This has more of a point right here, but I'm content with this. I'm not going to keep messing with it. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, you're buffering? You got to go to work tomorrow? Do you like your job? And I'm saying that because I've heard that if you like your job, it's not like work because you enjoy what you're doing. And for me, I found that to be true when I was working. It wasn't like, oh, damn, I got to go into this damn job. It was like, oh, I get to go and help people today, which I do enjoy helping people. Okay, now we have a point, and this is more pointy than that side. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. Let me see. Maybe something with my connection. Oh, no. Anyone else getting buffering, or is it just me? Oh, George, you're from Chicago? It matters to the person. Oh, he must have went off the rails. Oh, no, he didn't. He deleted his comment. I was thinking Janessa did something. Oh, man, y'all getting buffering? They've been doing construction in your office building lately. Reminds you of Odin's Eye. I do not care for their shimmer formula at all, and I know some people love it. I like their mattes. Their shimmer formula, I just don't really like them. You loved your old job, but it's just needs some extra work. The new job is cool though. All right, so I'm going to take my Esom E45, and of course I picked up the 49. And we're going to take, this might be a little dark for this, I don't care. We're going to take this mustard shade, and we're just going to go straight in. We just tapped a few times, and we're going to put that right here under the brow on the top edge. 2 taps very lightly. The top edge of our eyeshadow. That is a nice shade. If these were magnetic, I would like to say I would depot the mattes, but I find that when I depot stuff, even if I put it in another palette, I end up not really even using it. And I don't know like what mental block happens or what. And I even thought about, that's nice. I even thought about like for the Pride palette to take some of the lighter shades out and put in some of my MAC singles, because I have 3 MAC BYOPs. Each one is 45 shades. I mean 15 shades. And so that's 45 shades. The MAC Pride palette holds 40. But I was thinking of taking out some of the lighter shades out of the Pride palette and putting in some of the darker shades for my BYOPs. And then I thought I'm still not going to use it. And I don't know what happens in my mind where when I depot stuff, I end up not really using it. And I was thinking today, the Pride palette is so big. Like, am I really going to keep picking that up? And I think subconsciously, I don't like this line right there. I think subconsciously I don't use it more often because the damn thing is so huge. I do like looking at it though, and it was, I think, a good investment. 100% of the cost paid went to the organization, which I love. It wasn't like, oh, 10% of proceeds. No, they sent it all over there. We're going to take this brush that had that green on it. We're not adding more shadow to it. We're just going to just try to do something with this line right here. Usually I take a brush with no shadow on it. Usually I take a brush, this brush in particular, with no shadow on it to just kind of like buff out if I think the line for me is looking too harsh. And so what this does is it makes the shadow travel, but I do like that a whole lot better. It is higher up than this side, so we're just going to bring that up a little bit higher. So if you're having trouble blending, just go back to that brush or a brush with no shadow. And just use that to buff that out, blend that out. So we're going back to that yellow, that mustard. So I decided today just to leave the Pride palette like it is and to leave my BYOPs like they are. And we're going to put colors underneath our lower lash line. Hello. I'm going to call you Fun Me because I don't want to mispronounce your name. But thank you for being here. How are you doing tonight? So we're going to take two of our, our Fenty 220 brushes, which I love. We're going to do lower lash line. I'm curious to see how this one's going to perform. So we're going to take this. Yeah, these two right here, y'all. I think this might be done because I think it might be done because them two shadows did not perform well at all. And I remember they used to perform very well. I can only tell it's there because it's covering up that. What do I have in there, green or blue? Oh, thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. You have some palettes I need to say goodbye to. I'm having a hard time accepting that. Throw them away. This is what I used to do. I think I did it like for a month, where I would declutter stuff, but I would put it in purgatory. So I had like an empty box from something being delivered, and that was my purgatory box. And so when I was like, okay, I'm going to declutter it, but I don't know if I really want to keep it or not, because they were still good. But I'm like, I'm not using them. So I put them in the purgatory box. And then I did a series. I would use it and be like, okay, is this a keeper? Is it trash or treasure? I think that's what I called it. Is it trash or treasure? So when I would use it, whatever the palette was, and decide if it was trash, meaning it's going to be decluttered for real, or if it's treasure and I'm going to keep it. And I ended up keeping everything I tried. So I was just like, hey, Janet. So I was just like, what was the point in that? So that only lasted for like a month. I have a lot of fallout. More so on this side. And maybe because I do this eye first. That has quite a bit. And what? Mold definitely been in it. What? You talking about her excuse me, y'all. Rose 17. I'm glad you did, Tanya, because I know some of your stuff is antique. Yes, welcome to the Crazy Troll Nation, Pam. They say that, thank you, Annaboo. And now we're going to take this shade because I just want to see, because these two shimmers metallics, they didn't perform well. This one did. We just tried this one, and so we're going to try this one. This one seems to be picking up well. No, it's not. Oh my gosh. I think this is really going to be it for this palette. And this is one that they sent me. And then we were having a live stream. And Tony was saying, oh, I bought the bundle. I have all three. I'm like, I don't have number 1 and number 2. So I ordered number 1 and number 2 only because she had them and I didn't. I know, y'all. I know that's not a good reason to buy stuff. But they did bring back volume 1. I don't know if they have them bundled again or not. But for me to have this for a year, I'll say it that way. And they do make stuff when you order it. So I'm just like, I'm not understanding like why some of these shadows turned already. Not turned like being not good, but turned meaning the formula has changed. And so I'm kind of like, why is that doing that? And they do hand press their stuff, so it could just be something with how they pressed. I don't know, because they worked fine before. Yeah, I'm just looking at it like, we're going to, not this brush. We're going to take this brush. We're going to take this purple. So we will have used everything in here except this one. So now we're going to take this purple and we're going to, I didn't tap off this time. Okay, wait. Like, what the hell is happening? Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Goodbye. Bye, palette. And you have enough to replace it. I know that for sure. I think we all know that for sure. Yeah, I really think that's it for this palette. Because even this is a dark shade. So, like, why? This is a fluffy brush, though. So, I'm wondering if I should try it with another brush. But because them other shades aren't performing well, I really think this is it for this palette. Let's take a dense brush. This is a dense brush. Who remembers where those things came from? I don't. Hey, Frank Jones. How are you tonight? Thank you. So, we're going to still take that purple. Okay, so maybe I just needed a dense brush. That brush I was using was not dense at all. And usually it works for mattes that are loose because it will dispense it really nice with that brush. From Detroit. Ah! He from Detroit. Tanya, did Tanya leave already? Tanya's in Detroit. Oh, man. They're in the big blue house. I don't know what that is. Yeah, and I know I keep saying it. I'm just like, I'm struggling with trying to understand why this palette is acting like that. And for this shade to be that dark, I'm just like, this. Yeah, this is it for this palette. I can say, I did put away my Makeup by Mario stuff. Everything fits perfect. Everything fits perfect. Everything fits perfect. Because y'all know I refuse to buy more storage. I refuse to make more room, more space. And so, all the blushes fit perfect. The eyeshadow palettes. My blush thing is full. I'm going to show y'all really quick. Please represent. Right, Frank. Sister Tanya. She's from Detroit. Y'all, this is so friggin' perfect. All right, so this is me dropping stuff. This is my blush and bronzer container. These are the blushes and bronzers we use today. Y'all, look at this. These are all my blushes and bronzers. These are the House Labs blushes. These are the House Labs bronzers. Hung Vango's blushes and bronzers, and this is a Sigma one. But look, y'all, it is perfect. Like, look at that. Yeah, I'm one of them people. I'm very organized, among other things. It's a blessing and a curse, depending on who you ask. So how that just clanked down like that, I was wondering if that's why that shadow might have looked like it was cracked. Yeah, all of that fits perfect. Yeah. Pop my strap. Can't pop my collar. I don't have collar on. I'm tripping. I'm excited. Because I thought about that too. I'm like, I don't put all this stuff. Like, I got to make it fit. So for the new people who subscribed tonight, thank you so much. We do have a Pinsies giveaway going on. And that ends, I think, next week. And so that's something to keep, well, to go look for. And it will be Pinsies, something in the giveaway. I mean, in the title, to go check that out. We are open international. You do have to be subscribed. So those who are international, you are, as long as you're subscribed and you answer the two-part question, you are eligible to, your entry will be, what am I trying to say? Your entry will be eligible. So I'm looking at the Waterliners. I haven't used these in a while, y'all. I'm thinking green, but that's gonna just blend in over here. Now I'm thinking yellow. This here is Banana Boom, I believe. Let me look at my label. Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label whore. Yeah, that's Banana Boom. We're gonna do this yellow. What I was starting to say earlier, which I completely just forgot about, was I realized that even though I like messy grunge, you know, dark looks, I don't do a lot of them. Hey, KK. And do you remember Shanae? From that Martin show, whatever that was. And I do like to have variety on my channel. So I do ethereal looks, I do glam looks, I do, you know, natural looks and stuff like that. But I realized, like, my preferred aesthetic, I do the least. And that really bothered me. It really bothered me. My eye is starting to burn. This one. This is the most sensitive one, it seems like. This is the one that, like, was actually tearing down my face that time. And then another video, it started tearing. But this one is definitely more sensitive than my right eye. This is my left eye, and it is burning. And it kind of bothered me. And not that I minded, and I didn't feel... You've been binging my older videos. Did you look at the Easter ones yet? I appreciate that, Michelle. I really do. And when I see you comment on an older video, I'll end up watching that video again, and I'll just be like, wow. I look at my videos objectively, like I watch it like it's not me. And that may sound strange, but... And I watch my videos because I do learn from them, because I am looking at it objectively. And so if it's something I do, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again, or oh yeah, I'm going to definitely do that again, or, you know, I really didn't like how that turned out. But I do appreciate that. And so it didn't bother me, but I was just like, you know, I'm not doing what I love the most, but I still do love what I'm doing, if that makes sense. It's like I'm not doing a lot of what I love, but I'm doing a lot of what I like. And I do want there to be variety on my channel, because I know everybody doesn't like my style, and yet, you know, y'all are here. And so I try to have something for everyone. But at first I was like, how do I really feel about that? Like, what? And it's okay, because I do want variety. We are doing quite a bit of troll play next month. Oh, good news. The event I worked at this past weekend, this past Saturday, I received the email. She's already posted me for both of their events next month. And I remember saying how, like, they didn't advertise me, but she already did. It's either the 16th and 17th or the 17th and 18th of October. And so I got 2 separate emails. And so she already put my info for both of those events. And I'm just like, so that'll be more clients, because people come and look at my price sheet and then they just walk away. So at least they'll know. And she put the prices there. But sometimes I do alter the prices, because the one lady that just wanted like an eye mask, just like a block of color straight across, you know, I didn't charge her like a full eyeshadow look. And for the dude that I did, you know, the things I was telling y'all about. And so I will change the prices. Because what I think about is, this is the Lancome, what I think about is, like, how much of my time is this going to take? Because y'all know time is money. How much of my time is this going to take? Which also tells me like how intensive it's going to be. And so just to do that thing across her eyes, I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's maybe 15 minutes versus like doing a complete eyeshadow look. You know what I mean? And she only chose like one color to use. And then after the fact, she asked, you know, can I do mascara? So I put mascara on her. But so I will change the prices. So the prices that are listed are just like the base, well, I'll say basic prices, because depending on what they want, I may tell them something different. But they'll be like, well, how much for such and such? And I ask them a lot of questions, like what it is that they want, because I don't want them to be like, oh, just such and such. And I give a question, and then as I'm doing their face, they're like, well, can you do this too and do that too? Then I'm like, okay, that's going to be extra. And that has happened before, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to charge you another such and such. And they're like, okay, that's cool. And I'm like, okay, good. But, yeah. So, because I know times are hard. And so people do, I think, need to be prepared to pay. Because if they just see me there and they haven't seen the promotion, they're just like, ooh, can you do my makeup? I'm like, the price sheet is over there. They'll look at it and walk away. They weren't prepared. So that's why it's important for me that I am promoted, because just so people know it's going to cost you some money. Exactly, Janessa. Watching our old videos and seeing how far we've come. I sent you a screenshot, Janessa, of a video from like a year ago. I look like that light bright toy. And I think I put something like, I was delusional saying I'm tan. I look like so. I was just like, what the world? No, Shanae was a group variety show in the 80s. It cracked me up when you said the look grew on me because it was so different. Yeah, sometimes I don't like a look, but then the more I look at it, I'm like, you know what? This because I do like stuff that's different, and so it'll grow on me. I'm going through. Hey, Troll says K. Excuse me if y'all heard that, and even if y'all didn't hear it, excuse me. I'm just going through chats. You don't need more storage. You need to get rid of some stuff. I refuse to buy more storage. How they say if you build it, they will come. If you keep adding space, you're going to keep filling it. And then you're going to need more space because then you're going to keep buying stuff. I refuse. Tell her, Michelle, Tanya, do a collection video. Don't even say please. Tanya, do a collection video. And Dawn, wherever she at when she watched this. I refuse to buy more storage. I refuse. Because then I know I'll buy more stuff. And just like that time I decluttered half my lip products, within like 3 weeks it was full again. Because I had the space. Yeah, I refuse. Working in department stores at times sometimes ruin my creativity. It's all about results and numbers. Yeah. 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 This little grew on me because it was so different. Yeah. I do learn a lot from them. And it does show growth because when I restarted my channel, I did videos here. I did videos at my desk. I did videos in my bathroom. I did videos in the bathroom in my bedroom in front of the window, trying to find like where the best light was. Y'all, some of them videos is downright busted, and they're still on my channel. Because people will say, oh, I go back and delete all of my older videos or the ones that didn't perform. Should I leave all my shit on there? Because if y'all think this right here is busted, watch my video from 6 years ago. You're going to be like, oh, damn, yeah, she is a lot better now. Yeah, my shit was straight busted. So even then, I was like, I'm going to post it. Like, so what? And it wasn't even a conscious thing. Like now, I'm like, we don't scrap content. We don't scrap looks. Back then, it was just like, well, I did it. It's here. You know, I did the video. I edited it. I posted it. It's going to stay. But yeah, some of them videos, y'all, are straight fucking busted. Busted. And it's still there. Yeah, glowworm. I was looking like a freaking glowworm. And I don't know, too, if the background has something to do with it because the wall back there is white, as y'all know. And so I'm sitting here looking like a freaking light bulb. I thought that was a joke. It's ooh. Do you got good coochie? What you got going on over there? A cup of ramen? Your little $2 meal ramen noodle? I eat ramen. I always put a protein in it though. You know what? Whether it's good or not, I let whoever my partner is tell me that. And since you're not my partner, you don't need to know. So anyway, y'all, people be coming in here and saying some, I don't want to say crazy stuff, but just some stuff that don't have nothing to do with why we're here. We're here to do makeup, and you see me doing makeup, and you're going to ask me some shit about my genitals. How about you call a friend? Text one of your friends. Like, are you lonely? Is that why you coming in here trying to get attention? And I'm giving you attention, so that makes me just as bad. Yes, there. Jen is like, Dion, please stop. Is there some videos on my channel? I am busted and crusted. Oh, man. Y'all, and when I sit here for live streams, then you never even seen the comment. He asked me if I had good coochie. But he spelled coochie wrong. Well, according to how people normally spell it. So that told me something. He's like a little, so I had to stay on top of chat. And I'm like, what is this? Y'all in a good mood today. So yeah, I'll play along a little bit. Oh, like here, when I do live streams, this bag under here is just like, boom, pal, how you doing? What's happening? And it was, I did one of the videos. This was the Tower 28 I put on lower lash line. This is the Beyond Mascara. And I did a video in my bathroom. Y'all, you can see every bag, crease, line. I was just like, okay, lighting is everything. I was just like, oh shit, I look horrible. But I still love me. We accept our features. And I'm like, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And I still posted that video. But yeah, and I keep them up there because it shows growth. It shows how much we've learned, how far we've come. And I do know it's still a lot of things I need to learn. But I can look back and be like, I did learn something. The video quality is better. And it got better too Like every time I upgrade my phone, I'm like, I do videos on YouTube. Like, is this going to be better quality than like if I'm comparing phones, I'll say which one would give me the best quality, and I'll be like, and don't BS me. And so they'll say, well, this one, da da da, or that one, and so, and I keep my phones until they close to die. My last one, the display started just blanking out, and I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, I keep stuff till they are about to die. And that's when Instagram had broke up with me because it wouldn't let me log back in. I really like this mascara, y'all. I did check. That Esom bundle is still on the website. I posted on my community tab both those palettes and the mascara, and I was wrong. I kept saying $160. It's $139. And so they did credit me $60, which was the difference from $140 to $200. They still have that bundle deal. And I'm wondering if they're going to come out with new stuff because that bundle deal has been on there for a while. And that storage bag that I have, and I have that in my Esom playlist too. Y'all, that bag is the bomb. I mean, it's small, but it's the bomb. I use it for storage. Actually, my Pro Kit backups are in there. Like the cloths and, you know, disposables and other stuff. So it does come in handy. And I have been using it since I got it. But that is a nice bag. And it comes with the brush book, which on its own is $65. It comes with that bundle if you get that bag. And that is a good deal. Y'all, I like this mascara. These lashes are shorter than the lashes over here. So this side I can always see the mascara, where this side is like, are you there? Hello, are you there? I'm trying to close this and it wasn't closing. Oh, mine was set to top chat. I hate settings like that. I go back and forth between top chat and all messages, like when I'm trying to see if I'm missing stuff. The 17th was your 15-year channelversary. Oh my gosh, you've been here a while. How long have I been on here? I think I restarted in 2012. I think when I had moved here. That comment didn't show up. Yeah, I was going to keep picking with them. Yeah, I'm in a good mood today. How is your coochie? Like, oh my gosh. I do think this bag is getting bigger though, because it's just more and more noticeable to me. Michelle's still in UK that you gotta drive. Yeah, she be doing content. Yo, them lives, boy. It'd be like a marathon. Lip. What color lip, Michelle, since this is your look? Members get to make requests, and she requested I use this eyeshadow palette. $2.99 gives you some say and some input over the content that I do. Such a small price to pay to give good content to the world. Crazy Troll Nation is worldwide. Yellow. You know what we're going to do? And I had this thought before I asked you that. We're going to put on a black, because then I thought, this being the only shadow we didn't use in here, to tap this on top and see what that looks like. I don't know if it's going to be yellow. If it's not, then we'll put, if this isn't yellow, we'll put this on top. This is that inner corner shade. And then we can say we used the whole palette, which I like that idea, because she like, why you ask me if you ain't going to do it? Because this is going to be it for this palette, because I do have a black from Notoriously Morbid. Me who don't like dupes in my collection. I do have a black one also from Sephora, because Sephora cream lip stains only work well with each other. And so if I wanted to do an ombre lip with something else, it ain't going to work. This is my favorite lipstick formula. The one from MAC. Their Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color. Some of the people who ask me if I do certain things, hey Mocha, how are you tonight? Thank you. It was a member request to use this palette. Members here have some input into the content I do. So if that's something you would like to do, you can join the membership. It's $2.99 a month. This is my favorite liquid lipstick formula. The only time I have to double dip is when it's running low. Because y'all see, I'm still going with this. And the line is looking janky. I'm not going to do too much to fix it. Over here it's looking janky. Because we're going to put a shimmer eyeshadow on top. So let me stop. My lip line is naturally crooked. And when I wear dark lipstick, it just accentuates how crooked it is because it's more noticeable. If I just put on a gloss, you don't notice it because it just kind of blends in. Thank you. You should try it. You used to have the color, you never knew how to use it. I'm going to show you. This is a black lipstick. My chosen family sister, I want to say she's a little bit lighter than me. Just a tad. She said she never thought about wearing black because she thought it was like too dark for her. But she saw me using it. She bought one and tried it. She freaking loves it. Now she be rocking black lipstick. So this is my suggestion. If it's like, you're like, I want to wear black, but I'm scared. And that's valid because you see it. It's black. It's bold. So this is what you can do. Take a light shimmer shadow and put on top of it. Since Michelle said yellow, we're going to do a two-tone lip. We're going to take this one because this one shows up yellow. So if you want to put on a black and you're just like, I don't know, tap a shadow on top because it'll change the color. And just tap it in the center part, meaning not all the way out to the edges. See that? And when I was doing this, like she came over and she's looking at me. I'm just like, she's like, I'm trying to see what you're doing. It's pretty. Why are you all in my face? Y'all, I blanked out at the formal dinner. And she said it scared her. I might have talked about it. I remember saying to her, because I was exhausted. And I said to her, right, yeah, just tap a light shimmer shadow on top. So even though this is a black lipstick, because I just want to say I use this one, we're going to put this shade on the bottom. I had told her, I said, sis, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, I'm exhausted. And so they had up the projector things or whatever. So the person on stage, if they're far away, like at concerts, and then they have the big thing on the wall over here and then one like way over there. So I thought I was looking at the thing over there, right? And I'm looking at the thing. I thought I was. You don't remember me telling you about it? Oh, okay. And I blinked and I looked and she was like right here on the side of my face, like literally. And I'm like, why the fuck are you in my face? And she backed up and she was like, and she stayed there. She was like, are you okay? I'm like, why are you so close to my face? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And the person on the left of me, the one I was saying last night that was passing out the baggie of stickers, and I'm like, she done pulled out a baggie. Like where I'm from is like, y'all know them baggies. I was just like, and she was like, oh, they're stickers. I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, she said you were somewhere else. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And the one on the left side of me had said that she was looking at the thing over there. And she looked at me to say something. And she said she couldn't even say anything. She said, you were stone still. She said, Dion, you were stone still. And I said, oh, and I thought they were still bullshitting, right? Good night, Pam. Thank you for being here. And thank you for subscribing. And I said, and I was still joking. I'm thinking they bullshitting, right? And I said, well, I'm going to blink every 10 seconds to let y'all know I'm okay. And the one on this side of me, she's like, yeah, please do that. She said, you were stone still. She said, you weren't blinking. You weren't moving, like nothing. And I'm like, what? And so I looked at my big sis and I'm like, she said, yes, sis. She's like, you were not here. And I remember you had just said, you don't know if you're going to make it. But she said she didn't know, like, if I was having a seizure, because I just locked up. She said, I didn't know if you were having a seizure. I didn't know if you were having a stroke. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, damn. I said, I'm looking at the thing. And then I'm like, why the fuck are you in my face? She said, you were not moving. You were not blinking. And she said, I got close to you because I was trying to see if you were breathing. And I'm like, are you serious? And I looked at this one on this side of me. She was like, yeah. She said, you were stone still. And I was like, oh my God. And so my sis was like, I'm glad you saw it too, because I wouldn't have believed her. So she told the chick over here with the baggie of stickers, she said, I'm glad you saw it. I would not have believed her. I would have been like, you tripping. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all, I was just like, and then later on in the room, and we left like maybe 10 minutes after that because I'm just like, and so I think it was later that night or the next day. It might have been later that night. We were talking about it, and she said I was close to you. She said I was really concerned. She said I know that if something's happening, she said don't like jar them or whatever. So she said I was just trying to see if you were still breathing, and she said I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to make sure you're breathing. And I was sitting there like, damn. I was like, oh my God. I was just like, I don't know if I was asleep with my eyes open. I don't know because they didn't even know if I was breathing. And I was just like, and that is kind of scary because then I'm like, well, did I have a stroke? Like, and I remember years ago, I was sitting here doing a video and I was saying something and I went, and then I was like, damn, y'all, I just blanked out. Like, did I have a mini stroke or something? So I was aware of that time because I was in the middle of a sentence and I just locked up. But I knew that I did. I was like, damn, like what just happened? Like I just blanked out. But that I didn't know. I didn't even know that I had blanked out like that. Yeah, she was like, you were just sitting there. That is some scary shit. Yeah, and she kept saying to the chick on the left of me, I'm glad you were there to witness this because I wouldn't have believed my sis because we'd be joking around like that too. But I was just like, fuck. Like that sounds scary. Like what the fuck? Y'all. And she said, I remember you had just told me you didn't know if you was going to make it because you were exhausted. And then a few minutes later, that is scary. That is scary. So this is this shade on the lip. So if you want to do a black lip or even a dark brown and you're not sure, and you put it on and you're still not sure, tap a shimmer lighter shadow on top of it. And then this does go with the look because this shade is this inner corner shade. And I haven't done with a matte lip, a matte shadow, but you could too. But we're going to take this one. Excuse me. Put this on the bottom lip. Yeah, experiment with y'all makeup, y'all. Yeah, that was scary. Like, after the fact, I was like, fuck. Like, oh, my God. Yeah, she was like, I don't know if you was having a stroke or a seizure. Because all seizures are not violent seizures. And I knew someone years ago who would have seizures. And she would like, if she was in bed, she would like fall out the bed and she'd be banging against those old time, metal radiators and she would have bruises and stuff like that. But some strokes are some seizures you just lock up. So I was just like, what the fuck? She's like, I did not know. And I felt fine after that. I'm like, what the fuck are you on my face? Like I was right back to my normal self. But she said not quite a couple minutes, but it was long enough for her to be like, what, like, is she breathing? Like, is she okay? Like, she was scared. Oh, this is pretty. This is definitely different. No, it doesn't taste like anything because it's... No, because what it does is it sticks to the lipstick because the lipstick is a liquid one. So it sticks to the lipstick. So it doesn't even, like, go into my mouth. This is a nice two-tone lip. Because this yellow, that's this shade, even though this one, we didn't use it on the lids, that kind of plays off of that. Yeah, so if you want to use a dark lipstick and you're not sure, just tap a light shadow over it. Yellow upper, blue lower, yep. And that's my first time doing I think that's my first time doing two different shadows on my lips. And so, thank you for me experimenting with my makeup. Yeah, this palette is it. We used everything in here. This is Michelle's look. She requested I do a look with this. And this is only look number 4 with this, but this is done, y'all. Because these 4 right here, that's half the palette. Minus 1 because it's a 9-pan palette. But yeah, but do try it, y'all. I haven't tried it with bullet lipsticks. I don't wear bullet lipsticks often. I do have 2 of my beloved Hung Van Gogh's bullet lipsticks. One I purchased and the other one Sneaky Ass Janessa sent me. So those are my only 2 bullet lipsticks. But so this is our look. Work it, mighty fine. Thank you, Haywood. I appreciate y'all for being here. I do really like the look. It just sucks that this is really done and I've only had it a year. So that's done. So we're gonna do the flat lay and then that's going in a trash. But I do like the look though. Very me, not quite grungy. I mean grungy, like an ethereal grunge, because it's not like the dark, messy, moody grunge. But I like it. And I love the lip. I'm going to have to do this again. So experiment with y'all makeup, y'all. Thank you, Anna Boo. So we're going to go, y'all. Kay, are you doing your live tonight? She usually does her lives at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so put on your notification or just pop over there and pop in. You're welcome, Michelle. Thank you for the request. I appreciate all of you being here. I just love that the Crazy Troll Nation is worldwide. We got New Zealand in the house tonight. We got Chicago, Detroit. We got New York in here. And I know I'm forgetting other places. But yeah, we're worldwide and I love that. And so I thank you, all of you who are always here in the lives, because you're part of the welcoming committee. And I really appreciate how somebody comes in and says hi. Y'all are like, hey, so-and-so, how you doing? I appreciate that. And so I love that we've created this space where, thank you, where everybody knows that they're welcome to be here. And that is special to me, because some lives I go into, people don't say nothing except to like the people they kind of know. But I just really love how y'all I love this little community we built. So Thursday, here with Janessa, Hung Vango Looks. Friday on Janessa's channel, we're doing a live stream with Hung Vango Looks. I do have a video going up tomorrow and Friday morning. And so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Click the notification bell, because I do a lot of freaking content, y'all. Y'all know I do if y'all been here. But for right now, though, we're going to go. Thank you again, Michelle, for this look. I did tag her down below. So if you click on her tag, her name thing, that'll take you to her channel. So that's an easy and quick way to get to her to see what's going on over there. And video tomorrow. We'll be back here live on Thursday. And make sure y'all subscribe and consider joining the membership if you would like to dictate some of the content, because what my members say goes. Yes, join us for makeup play days, Thursday and Friday. Thursday here and then Friday on Janessa's channel. Absolutely. And I'm really excited about that. So we're going to go, as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you. And y'all will see me soon. Bye, everybody.